Good morning, my fellow Africans and the world at large. This is Emmanuel Kwejomensa, once again coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment, all the way from Ontario, Canada. Today is the 19th of August in the year 2022, and the Bible says this is the day the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. And for that matter, I take this opportunity to invite the whole world, any man or woman listening to me or hearing my voice, to join me to give thanks to God for the day that He has granted unto us. And life in general, life is beautiful, life is wonderful, life is glorious, life is God Himself flowing through all things, including mankind. Today, I am going to speak to you on the topic 70 times 7. I repeat, 70 times 7. And this topic is taken from the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 22. And in this part of the Bible, we are told that Peter, one of the apostles of Jesus Christ, went to him and asked him, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? And in verse 22, Jesus replied, Jesus said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. Up to 70 times 7. And that is the focus of our discussion or my presentation today. Those of us that are in Christianity, we have heard this verse and been interpreted to us in different ways. But today I'm going to give you a deeper perspective. And as I've always been saying, the Bible is a metaphysical book, and it has the deeper or the inner meanings to whatever statement and symbol that have been used in the Bible. And so today I am going to speak to you not necessarily about the forgiveness of your brother or your sister. It's all inclusive, but we'll be hearing about that. That is the surface meaning. That is what transpired. But there is a deeper meaning, and so today we are going to go deeper to get the real meaning of this. A human being's life is a whole or a complete package. And so forgiveness, it has to do with the relationship that we have with our fellow human beings, but that doesn't end our life. Our life goes beyond that. And therefore, today I am going to explain this part of the Bible, or this verse of the Bible, in relation to your whole life. That is your dreams, your aspirations, whatever you want to do in life. And so, every human being has a dream. Every human being has something that he wanted to achieve. Some of us have tried it. We've tried it a couple of times. It didn't work. And so we leave it. And then we say, I can't do it anymore. We leave it and go away. And today we're going to relate this verse, deduce the meaning as to how we can glean or get the true meaning of this verse in relation to what we want to achieve, what we are supposed to be doing on earth here. And so when you look at the numbers that we're using, symbolically they have meaning. It is 7. That's 70 times 7. Actually, some of the verses said 70 times. Others too says that I'm using the New King James Version, and I think that one makes more sense to me. So I'm saying I'm using the 70 times 7. So 70 times 7, if you look at this number, 7 symbolically represent completeness, wholeness. And so you will see that we have 7 days in a week. The Bible says that God used 7 days in His 6 days in His creation, and then on the 7th day He rested. That is completion. And so when Jesus Christ used this word, He was referring something deeper than just the figure that is being used. So 7 means completion. So when your brother or your sister sins you, there is no end as to the number of times you have to forgive the person, but you have to do it until it is complete. There is a process that you yourself have to go through. And so as you forgive the person, do it until you are complete, that the person's annoyances or whatever doesn't infuriate you, doesn't become anything that bothers you. And that is the meaning of the seven. Then the 70. 70 actually means it's a combination of the 7 and 0. And as already explained the meaning or the symbolic, the meaning of the number 7, it means completion. And then 0 means infinite. 0 simply means infinite. So these two numbers combine to give us 70. So you see that the 70 times 7 is not telling anything, or it's not saying anything to us other than doing whatever you're doing till completion, or there is no end to the number of times that you're supposed to do it. And so 70 times 7 simply means do it until infinite. Do it all until you receive your result, and that is the completion of the creation. God created the heaven and earth and everything in it 6 days, and then the seventh day he rested. That is a completion of his creation. In the same way, you are a human being. Be it the relationship between you and your brother or sister, you're supposed to forgive the person until whatever the person is doing unto you doesn't bother you anymore. It doesn't become anything that worries you. And that means you have actually overcome the situation. That is completion. So there is no issue to be resolved. And that is why Jesus Christ said it. Peter says 7. Now he said, no, I'm not saying 7, but 70 times 7. He has added another one. And the essence of bringing the 70 is to bring the infinity of that aspect, which is the 0 that is added to the 7. And so you are supposed to forgive your brother, your sister unconditionally. And there is no even an end to it. You have to do that until you become a master over the person's annoyance. The person is also in your life to help you to build yourself and to overcome your anger, to overcome that weakness of yours. Anyway, so we are not going to look at it from the forgiveness alone, but we are going to look at it from the goals, the dreams that we have. It is the same. Every human being on earth here has a dream, has something that he wants to achieve. And that could be likened to your brother or your sister coming to disturb your peace. Every human being wants peace in his life, his or her life. And therefore, you want to achieve something. You've tried it. You see that this thing, when you are able to complete it, it will bring complete peace. It will bring joy and success in your life. But you've tried it several times. You've tried it several times. And most of us, we are like Peter, who has run to Jesus Christ looking for an exit door. He was looking at, 7 times. Then he will begin to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay, the next one, you do the 8th one, I am going to retaliate. That is how we are. We have a pen and paper that we are recording the number of times that we've made attempt to achieve a particular goal that we didn't make it. And so we are collecting all these evidences and to show to the world that we have done it and therefore it is not our fault. And therefore giving up is something that is acceptable. But today, based on what Jesus Christ gave, and that is actually the true meaning of the verse, 70 times 7. 70 times 7. That is the rule. And the meanings of these numbers is that 7 means completion. So do it until completion. And then the 70, the 0 attached to the number 70 means infinite. So keep on doing it until you achieve your goal. There is no end to it. There is no exit route to it. And so any man or woman that understands this principle and go by it, he goes on to achieve, and then he becomes a hero. Just as any man who understood this and applied it in human relationship, he's able to live with any other man. And so today, your life, look into your life. The world is full of failures. The world is full of people who are suffering because of the fact that we are always looking for exit routes. That I have done everything in my life that I couldn't achieve this. So you have the evidence and you want people to sympathize with you. So you are like Peter, who wants to hold a book that to mark the number of times, 7 times, and then after the 7 times, he has the right to inflict pain on his brother. Your failed attempt is more or less your brother or your sister infuriating you or annoying you or sinning you. Your failure attempts to achieve your goal, your dream, is the same as you, your brother or your sister, sinning you or hurting you or doing something to infuriate you. And for that matter, in the same way that you are supposed to forgive your brother, your sister 77 times, in the same way you are supposed to attempt your goal, achieving your dreams 77 times. And that is, do it until completion or until infinity. That is the rule. And so you are not supposed to give up. 77 times 7 is the rule. Any man or woman that understands this and apply it in his life, he goes on to achieve his dreams and goals. And as I started, every man or woman that ever lived on earth here, and those of us that are still alive, and those that will be alive after we have left this place, had, and we are still having, all those who are yet to come will have dreams, goals, things that they want to achieve. And therefore, we can only achieve them when we tried it 77 times, 70 times 7. And as I explained to you, the symbolic meaning of the word 7 is completion. And the symbolic meaning of the number 0 is infinity. So it doesn't matter the number of attempts that you have made. The only purpose, the only rule, the only thing that you have to busy your mind is you will do it until you get the right results. And that is completion. And that is when it ends. That is infinity. But as long as you haven't gotten the result, keep on doing it. And this is the mental attitude that men and women, we don't have. Particularly those of us in Africa. We tried it once and then we leave it. Oh, the thing is too hard. Let us leave it there. Let us leave it there. Then we run to attempt another one. But the fact is that the bigger the challenge, the greater the accomplishment. The more your dreams delayed, the bigger the achievement, the bigger the fame, the bigger or the greater the accomplishment that you make. And therefore, that is what the Bible is saying. There is a deeper meaning to every statement. The statement that Jesus Christ made was not only in relation to the forgiveness of our brothers and sisters, but it has to do with we forgiving the number of times that we have attempted something that we couldn't do. That is, forgive and forget that. It is past. It can never be redeemed. You can never do anything about that. But focus on what is ahead of you. You want to achieve the dream. Learn from the past mistakes. Learn from the past failed attempts. And go on to do it again, and again. There is no end to it until you reach the completion, which is the number 7. That is the truth of life. That is the truth. So my brother, my sister, there is the wisdom in the Bible that only a few men and women knew, that they have applied it and made themselves successful. You'll be successful only when you have a certain mental attitude. That is, you not quit in. The quitters never win. It is only those who stay until the end that will always win. And that is any man who knows the principle that you are supposed to stay on it 70 times 7, and using the meaning of the numbers, not just the surface meaning of the 70, and then you are going to count 70 and multiply by 7. No, but you are using the meaning or the spiritual and metaphysical meaning of the numbers. That means continue to do it until infinity, or continue to do it until you achieve your dream. That is the truth of life. Do not give up. And so today, my job or my responsibility is to awaken you to the truth that there is no need holding a pen and a paper, tabulating the number of times that you've made an attempt on something. And then you go about, you go here, oh, you know what? I tried this thing. It is not possible. It is, don't leave it. You cannot do it. And so you keep on. Then you are trying you convince people to win their sympathy that you have made an effort. No, that is not it. Any man or woman that wants to achieve beyond the ordinary achievement must have this principle in his life that, or in his mind, that he is going to try it until he gets the answer. Until that, there is no end to it. That is the 70 times 7. And there are a lot of examples of men and women that we can use. But today, I am going to focus on one great man that gave the world the incandescent bulb by name Thomas Edison. It is on record that Thomas Edison, in his attempt to invent the incandescent bulb, he tried 10,000 times and failed all of them. There was no successful result until the one after the 10,000, and that was when his breakthrough came. So if he had actually tried it this number of times and achieved what he achieved, then today his achievement, his whatever he's done, is a direct or a living testimony to what I am sharing with you. There is no time limit. There is no number of times that you're supposed to try achieving your dreams or whatever you want to achieve for you to quit. There is no time until you achieve it. You don't have to quit. Whatever you are doing, that you believe in yourself that this thing, if I get the results that I'm looking for, it will take me from this lower level to another level. Then don't set dates, don't set time, don't set years, but just keep on doing it in faith and determination. And you will see that the power of God will quicken you. And so as I'm talking to you, many people, including you, the one listening to me, you have your dreams. Some people haven't even attempted it at all. This is the time that you have to rise up and begin to work on your dreams and have the right mental attitude. And as I use Thomas Edison, he tried 10,000 times and failed. And then the one time became his success. In the same way, you do not know the number of times you're going to start. You're going to achieve your goal. So just begin and continue. Believing, having faith. Remember, faith is the substance. Faith is about calling the things that are not as if they are. You see, things that we haven't seen. We are operating in a certain mind that we are bringing things that we haven't seen in the spiritual world into the outer world. And therefore, until that thing comes into the outer world, we do not have to give up. So the world is full of failures. The world is full of underachievers. The world is full of poor and lack people because we lack this principle. The number of times that you have tried something and failed doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you being detailed and learning, taking lessons from whatever thing that you are failing to do and identify those things and fix it. And as a matter of fact, as you fail, any man or woman that has tried something once and get it has not learned anything. And that is why Albert Einstein said that any man who has not tried something and failed has never learned anything new. The more your failures, the more you become knowledgeable, the more you identify a lot of insight in what you are going to achieve. So your failures are nothing but invitation. Your failures are nothing but guides or signposts that are leading you to your discovery. So when you keep on failing, when you keep on having unsuccessful attempts at your goal, do not give up, do not worry, do not be disturbed, but go on in determination and faith. Enjoy that you are on your way to your discovery. And as Thomas Edison did, you will do it. You will also arrive at your. But that is a principle, that is a rule. 77 times 7. It is not about you multiplying 70. It is not about you multiply 70 by 7. No. It is about you understanding the meaning of the numbers that have been used in the statement. And that is what I've just given to you. 0 is infinity. 7 is complete. So keep on doing it. There is no time limit until everything is complete. 7 days, God used 7 days to create heaven and earth and everything inside. In it, your 7 days is the day that you will achieve your final result. That is the truth of life. And so, my brother, my sister, whoever is listening to me, particularly my fellow Africans, we are not able to achieve, we are not able to do anything meaningful because we lack this mental attitude. We easily give up. We easily give up on things. This thing is so difficult. No, we can't do it. Or this man has tried it, this person has tried it, and we know it cannot do it. For this one, we have to go for a specialist. We have to go for that. Then we run into other people that they should come and fix it. But that is not the right mental attitude. The right mental attitude is to hold on, to keep calm, and carry on. As the British in the time of wars, their slogans, keep calm and carry on. Do not give up. We shall never surrender. That attitude given, or the mental attitude that Winston Churchill and his government had, is what you need to apply in your life. And that is going on to do it 70 times 7 times, 70 times 7. That is, do it until the day break and the shadow flees. And that is when you will see your glory. You will see the answer that you are looking for. And don't forget, I want to remind you once again that the greater the challenge, the greater the accomplishment, or the greater the waiting, the greater the joy and excitement of the arrival of the final result or what you're looking for. And therefore, let us rise up and take the right mental attitude. Today, my call on you is, it doesn't matter on the number of times that you've tried something. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is that you are learning, you are on your way into achieving what you are looking for. And if you are able to hold this mental attitude in faith and determination, there is nothing that you cannot achieve. As a matter of fact, you do not have to worry yourself about anything. But all you have to burden yourself is you learning through the process. You learning through the process. That is the truth of life. You learning through the process. And by the time the process will complete, you will see that you become a complete human being. A man that knows everything in that area that you are operating. But for you to try something once and get it and go away, that is a superficial item because you haven't actually you haven't tried it from different angles. So your opportunity to become an expert, the opportunity for you to arise or to grow in that area is you having numerous failed attempts and using those times to dive into it. Look for the things that you haven't done well and do them and seal all the loopholes. You will see that your product or whatever you're doing will come out as a beautiful and a wonderful thing to the world and humanity. So this is the time that you, the one listening to me, particularly my brothers, my sisters in Africa, this is the time that we have to be awakened to the truth. We have been carrying the Bible for far too long, but we cannot actually derive the right message that the Bible is carrying. So in the Bible, there are so many things. And even the statement that Jesus Christ gave that if someone asks you to go 1 mile, go extra mile with that person. It goes in line with this. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn the other one for him to slap you. It goes in the same direction. That whatever thing you are doing, put in an extra effort. Put in an extra effort. Put in an extra time. Do not be quick to desert it. So when someone asks you to go 1 mile, go extra mile means that when you are doing something, we are producing a particular item for someone, the person may give you a specification, but do well to add something more beautiful and wonderful to the person's expectation in such a way that the person will exclaim, oh, I didn't even ask this, but the person has added, or this man has added this onto this product. The person will always come back to bring more people to you. These are universal principles that Jesus Christ has given. And therefore, it is the same as what we are looking at today. 70 times 7 simply means keep on doing it until you get your results. Keep on forgiving your brother or your sister until his annoyance, until his sinning doesn't become a bother to you, such that there will be peace with you. And that is the completion of the process. And by the time the process comes to an end, you have become a new person. You are no more someone who can be, who can be who can fall easily to people's annoyance or sin or whatever we call sinning. So that is the truth of life. In the same way, if you have the mental attitude that your goal, your dreams will only be achieved only when you accept the unsuccessful attempts, and therefore you're going to work on them and make sure that everything that you have missed in the first attempt, you're going to cover it. You see that you will grow, and by the time your final product, by the time whatever you are creating comes up, it becomes a beautiful and a durable item that the world will crave for. But the fact is, do not give up. Do not give up. Never, never, never give up on your dreams. Never, never give up on your goals. Let people talk whatever they. Let them ask you, how many times have you tried it? Actually, some people will come and ask you, give us a break. You've been doing this thing for this number of years. Aren't you tired? So can't you get something more meaningful to do? Can't you do something more important than what you are doing? This thing, we've seen you doing this thing for this number of years. Don't worry about those people. They are ignorance about the rule in 70 times 7 as given by Jesus. You are enlightened. You know it. Keep on doing it. Never give up. My brother, my sister, never give up. Never quit. Go on. And I like the words of Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone that we use today. According to Alexander Graham Bell, he has set his mind on something that he wanted to find. And to him, he was prepared to devote the entire life of his to looking for that thing until he finds it. Until he finds it. And he believed in the power that is in him and around him. And according to him, even more of the things that he wasn't even looking were exposed to him. And that was why how he discovered how to communicate between two people over a wire, and that became the telephone. And then he went on to say, what this power is, I do not know. So what I'm telling you, the power that will quicken you, the power that will move you to do that, I don't know the name, but all I know is that that power exists for every one of us, as existed for Alexander Graham Bell, as existed for Thomas Edison. It also exists for us today, but we only have to have the right mental attitude that I do not quit. I would never quit attitude. I would never quit attitude. And that is the 70 times 7 mental attitude. That is what I'm selling to you. It doesn't matter the number of years you've been doing whatever you are doing. It doesn't matter the number of years you've been trying to achieve something. Go on. Don't let anyone sway you from your dreams. Don't let anyone sway you from your whatever you want to achieve. Go on. Take your time. Get a notebook and pen and analyze. Do everything. And as you go on in faith and determination, enduring and overcoming all challenges. You will see that at the end, you become the hero that men and women will always remember, for you have given them something that has moved all of us, every man or woman, to another level. So 70 times 7, it is not about multiplying 7 times 7, but it is about the meaning of the numbers in that statement. And as I've already stated, I want to reiterate it so that you get it well. The 7 means completion. The 0 means infinite. So if you take the 7 and the 70, they are all saying the same thing, that do it, forgive your brother until whatever thing that he's doing, it becomes nothing to you anymore. Then there will be peace, and that is the completion. That is your 7 days, and that is your infinite. That is it. That is the truth of life. So my brother, every one of us has something that we want to achieve, but we are not able to achieve it. Why? Because we do not have that mental attitude. You try one, then you go, you say, oh, I've tried, it's difficult, then you move on. And if you go to Africa, this is where it is actually prevailing. Today, you meet this person, he's doing this, you ask the person, what are you doing? He said, oh, I'm into this, I am doing that. Tomorrow, you see the person, you ask him, you know what? I tried that thing, but it didn't work. So I am now into this. I am now looking at this. So you see people hopping from one thing to the other. By the end of the year, they've tried so many things that all of them, there's no result. This is not a mind that can achieve anything. And that is what is killing Africans. We do not have the right mental attitude. We do not have the right attitude towards what needs to be done, what ought to be done. It doesn't matter how long we are trying to achieve something. We just have to keep on. It doesn't matter how painful or how painful the experience or whatever we experience is. We just have to keep on, move on, keep calm and carry on. And in the end, when your 70 times 7 comes, you will see that your results will be there for you to see. That is when your creation has been completed. And as God rested, you also rest. And that thing becomes a blessing to you. That is the truth of life. So the quotation or the Bible verse in Matthew 18:22, it is not only about forgiveness. It is about everything in your life, particularly your goals, your dreams, whatever you want to achieve. When you make a failed attempt, it is more or less like someone hurting you, someone sinning against you. You need to forgive the situation, embrace it, and then begin to analyze it. Another failed attempt is more or less someone hurting you. Yes, that is in the mental world. This particular thing is hurting you. Embrace, forgive it, embrace it, and marry it, and let it be your steady ground and steady it well. In the same way, you keep on until you realize that everything has been eliminated, that you will see the results. And as I mentioned, the name of Thomas Edison. After Thomas Edison has given the world the incandescent bulb, and everyone is enjoying, when they ask him what was his mental state in the 10,000 attempts that he made and failed, and he said for him there was nothing like failure. He was only eliminating the incorrect attempts until he went on to identify the right one. If you want to see something good, you have to take off all the rubbles before you see the right thing. That is the truth of life. So if you are not ready to endure, if you're not not endurance, if you're not ready to go through pain and then use that pain as a motivation to do something, then you continue to be who you are, the same person. Nothing changes. So hopping from one thing to the other, and especially in Africa, you speak to most people, you say, oh, now I've heard that this is the area that there is more opportunities. Then they will take these courses. Some do this corresponding courses. Some take money and come to UK, or they go to universities. They do university course today. Then by tomorrow they say, oh, the first course didn't give me the job. I am going to try another one. Then they keep on trying. They hope from one person. You see, these are the people that don't understand the principles of life, the principle of success. The principle of success requires is that you keep on doing only one thing, busy your time, busy everything of your on only one thing. Do it until you get the results. If you hop from one to the other, then energy is scattered. There is nothing that you're going to achieve. But if you concentrate the energy onto one area, you get a result. It's just like using the magnifying glass. If you're using the magnifying glass and you bring it closer to your hand, the sun rays could burn your hand and give you even a scar. But if you take the magnifying glass away, the same sun rays is actually affecting your skin, but it will not burn. Why? Because the magnifying glass actually brings the rays of the sun onto a central focal point that it comes direct to your skin. And that is how you're supposed to work. It is the same thing with water. If you put water into a tube, there will be power. And when you give it an outlet, it gushes out. But if you allow the water just to flow on the surface of the ground, there will be no power. And that is how it is. Whatever you want to achieve, you need to put power into it. And the power you need to put into it is you put in every effort, everything that you can into it, and keep on doing it, not looking on your shoulders as when to finish it or when to stop. Calculating the number of times that you have tried, that you want to publish it to people that, you have made an attempt. It's just that it didn't work. No achiever will ever go on to achieve it with that mental attitude. That means you are not an achiever. But you have to have the mental attitude that I am going to do it until the shadow flees. until day break. That is the true meaning. That is the true meaning of what Jesus Christ said. So, my brother, my sister, particularly those of us in Africa, there are a lot of things that we have to do. There are a lot of things that you have to do. One of the painful things in Africa is that when you go to Africa, there are a lot of projects that have been left uncompleted because the African doesn't have the concept of holding on or staying on one thing. And the fact is that actually they go these loans, these projects, they go for loans to actually start it. So when the loans are not coming, there is no way that they can actually complete. So that one even not even a typical example. But the fact is that the African doesn't try one thing and stay on and go on to achieve it. No, we don't do that. That is a wrong mindset. That is a wrong mindset that we have to correct it right now. And you, my fellow Africans, particularly young men and women, rise up. Take the truth. 70 times 7 in the Bible is not about the number, you multiplying the number, but it is about knowing the spiritual and metaphysical meaning of the numbers that are used. Do it into infinity. Do it until you get whatever you are looking for. There is no room, there is no way that you should, there is nothing that you should just go and convince people that you have tried this number of times and therefore they should sympathize with you. No, you are a loser. If you do that, you're a loser. And as the statement goes, quitters never win, and quitters never win, and winners never quit. That's the truth of life. So what are you doing about your dreams? There is something on your heart. There is something in your mind. There is something that you want to, maybe you've already attempted it, but you have left it. By the work I'm doing, or we are doing with my dear wife, my unbreakable rape, we have spoken to most men and women, young men across the African continent. And today, you ask a person, I am doing this. Tomorrow they've left it and they are going to this one. But that is not the right mental attitude that we are giving to you. Africa has to rise. Africa has to come to a point that we will call ourselves that we are moving ourselves forward. And that can only happen only when we have this 70 times 7 mental attitude that I am going to do it. There is no time limit to it. That I'm not looking for an exit route, but I am doing it until I get the results. Regardless of what any man or woman is saying, regardless of what any person is saying about it, I'm not going to worry myself about it. That is what the Wright brothers did. That is what Henry Ford did. That is what Karl Marx did. And Carl Benz did. That was what Marconi, all the people that give us these wonderful things. Take Bill Gates, take Steve Jobs, all these people. They went through certain difficulties. They went through stages of difficulties, but they held on to their ideas. As a matter of fact, Steve Jobs, his own company that he created, he was even kicked out of that company, but he held on with his mentality, and eventually he came back to lead Apple to wherever they are now. That is the truth of life. How long can I forgive my brother? Or how many? Yeah, let me read what Peter said. Then Peter came to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? And this question, many people are asking it every day. How many times should I try and fail? How many times at what point should I leave? Should I quit this project? Or should I close this project? The answer is that there is no limit. There is no limit. There is no point. You have to do it until you get a result. That is a stay on, carry on, do what is expected of you, and the results will definitely be surely be yours. That is the truth of life. That is what all men and women that have achieved beyond the thing that we call success, the ordinary success, have done. You can never achieve anything meaningful. You can never achieve anything durable, anything beautiful, great in your life for just wanting to do it one touch. That is the ignorant person's mental attitude. Unfortunately, Africa, that is what we are doing. And therefore, let us rise up. Let us begin to look at things. Whenever we begin something, regardless of how difficult it is, we only have to mobilize our energies, our strength, and keep on doing it, keep on doing it, keep on doing it. And then one day, we will rejoice that this is what we have achieved. That is when the accomplishment, that is when the thrill of accomplishment will actually be something that we will enjoy. That is what we call the thrill of accomplishment. When you have suffered for something and the thing eventually comes to light, that is when you sit down and say, yes, this is my pride. Yes, Africans, we will talk of the African pride. The pride is when you have withstood anything. You have withstood all difficulties and challenges and come up with something. Then you put your hand on your chest and say, yes, by the power of God in me, this is what I have created. And that is what we have to go. That is the way we have to go. And that is by taking the 70 times 7 rule. The 70 times 7 rule. That is, do it until you achieve whatever you want to achieve. But until you achieve it, you do not have to quit. You do not have to leave it. Forget about all the noises around you and carry on. That is the truth of life. And therefore, my fellow African, my brother, my sister, this message is not only for Africans, but it's for the whole world. Any man or woman listening to me, this principle is something that you need in your life to be an achiever, a complete achiever, but not just a surface achiever, someone that is just using surface energy. No, but a complete achiever, someone that has moved the world. That is the truth of life. So the quotation in the book of Matthew, or the verse in the book of Matthew 18:22, is something that is more of has broader meaning or deeper meaning. And as I started, the human being is a complete being. Your life is not only with the relationship between you and your brothers and sisters, but it has to do with in relation with your dreams, whatever you are doing, whatever you want to achieve. And those things are your brothers and sisters. They will sin against you. That is when you try to achieve it, you fail. That is more or less your brother or sister sinning against you. You need to forgive that your brother and sister. In the same way, you need to forgive the unsuccessful attempts. Rejoice in it, embrace it, and then begin to analyze it. They will teach you lessons. And as they teach you lessons, they carry you to a higher ground. They carry you to a level that whatever you want to achieve, by the time you take the lessons and you become a complete human being, your product, your creation, your invention, your ideas become ideas that no man or woman will deny, no man or woman will speak against, but they will rejoice to it. They will rejoice and embrace it. And that is when the universe rewards you. So as I bring my message to an end, today, my call to you, my fellow Africans in particular, is that keep on. Do not give up. Keep on doing. Keep on doing whatever you are doing. Keep on doing whatever you are doing. You do not have to hold this notebook. You don't need any pen. But all that you have to do, even if you hold a pen and a notebook, you're only, recording the unsuccessful attempt for analyzing and examine and look for the loopholes and seal them. And as you do that, you will see that you move yourself from the lower level to a higher level. You move yourself from Mr. Nothing to Mr. Someone who rules the world. And don't forget, mind is the master. Mind rules the world. That is my message for you. So those of us that goes to church, today I have given you a new perspective of the biblical statement given to us by Jesus in the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 22. Do not read this Bible verse and only think of your brother and sister, but relate it to your own goals, relate it to your own dreams, what you are doing, and carry on. Carry on. Let the power of God, the Spirit of God move you, push you, lead and guide you, such that you will come out as overcomer. If you're not a Christian, we are selling this principle to all men and women. The Bible is a metaphysical book. Therefore, I'm appealing to you. Take this Bible, read it, not on the religious ground, but as a metaphysical book that you are using to move yourself or to advance yourself to achieve greater and powerful success. These are universal truths. These are universal principles that are applicable to all men, just as sleeping, breathing, and everything are applicable to all men. That is my message for you today. Now, may the overshadowing presence of God that keep the stars in the open such that they do not fall on us, and keeps the planets in their orbit, such that they do not clash with one another, lead and guide you, give you an open mind and a receptive heart, such that this message will fall on a fertile ground, that you will take this and use it in your life and begin to move, walk in a direction that you become someone who does not quit, who does not give up on his dreams, but he carries on to achieve what God has laid on his or her heart. That is the truth, and that is my message for you. Once again, my name is Emmanuel Kwejo-Mensah, and I am a co-founder of the Eagle Mentality Group. At Eagle Mentality Group, we teach and share information about the power of the subconscious mind. Our determination and drive is to create a new group of Africans that think and do things in a different way, in alignment with the laws of the universe, such that we'll create a new Africa, an Africa that is technologically developed, an Africa that we have men and women who will stand and take up challenges and will never quit, but will carry on until they achieve whatever they want to apply the 70 times 7 rule to achieve whatever they want to achieve, such that Africa will be a developed continent. Africa will be a developed continent that our achievement, our works and everything will attract men and women from all walks of life onto the land of Africa, such that Africa will be a diverse Africa. Africa will be a multiracial Africa. As it is right now, Africa is only inhabited by black people, and this is the time that we have to consciously work towards the creation of the new Africa, which is multiracial and diverse, which is diversity. And diversity is the true nature and the glory of God. That is my message for you. Thank you, and God bless you.